All right. Welcome to Trolls Toys. Let's get into it and see what we have today. Figure reviews, toy hunts, etc. All right, YouTube, welcome to Trolls Toys. This week's toy haul, episode 13. And this is a late Thursday night pickup on May 1st. Did not make episode 12's video because we already had it in the can ready to go. But we stopped by our local Savers in Worcester, Massachusetts. And I don't know if these are deals or not, but they had 2 packs of carded Power of the Force figures for $10 each. But what I did discover when I opened up one of them is these fucking idiots at Savers stapled the damn cards together, back to back, in the pack, which is so dumb. So I don't know. We basically got them for $5 each. I don't know if it's a deal or not. I just thought they were cool. So we got the Hoth Rebel Soldier. And starting out with the Bounty Hunters, we got Dengar, Power of the Force. And these are from 1997. Dengar's from 97 and he's from 96. So we'll just keep opening the packs. The next pack, we got another Rebel Soldier. And we got Princess Leia as Jabba's prisoner. See what I mean? Inside the plastic bag, I could not tell that they had stapled these together. Idiots, right? And like I said, I don't know what these are worth. We'll figure it out. I don't think we're going to lose any money even if we don't keep them. But this staple just pisses me off. And Princess Leia is from 1997. So up next we got Han Solo in Carbonite. And we have the ASP 7 droid. And like I said, all these are the same price. Basically $10 a piece. Well, for the 2. They had one Princess Leia in the pack by herself for $10. I left her. So this Han Solo in Carbonite's from 96. And this ASP 7 droid is also from 1996. Up next, we got another Princess Leia as Jabba's prisoner, but she's slightly different. So we'll get her out of the pack. And we got Forlom. All right, at least they had not stapled these 2 together. So Forlom is from 97, and this Princess Leia with the actual movie scenes to see and project is also from 1997. I spoke too soon. We're back to having them stapled together, but we got Bosk, Bounty Hunter, and we got Admiral Akbar. And Bosk is from 1996, and Admiral Akbar is from 1997. And Grand Moff Tarkin's 96, and Lando Calrissian as a skiff guard is 96. And we're stapled together again, but we got Ponda Baba, also known as Walrus Man, and we got 21B, the medic droid. Both of these are also from 1996. Stapled together again, but we got Darth Vader. And we got another Han Solo in Carbonite. Han's from 96 and Darth is from 97. And I believe they're a Han Solo fan because we got Han Solo in indoor gear from 96 and Bespin Han Solo from 97. And rounding out our huge Power of the Force haul, we got the Emperor's Royal Guard from 97. And we got the Garnadin Long Snoot from 97. So we wound up with 20 Power of the Force figures for like $5 each. I don't know if that's good or bad, right? It was a Savers pickup. I was sort of on the spot. I didn't want somebody else to get them. I didn't know how long they'd been there, if they just put them out or what. So I didn't have a chance to look them all up. But I figured at $5 a piece, I couldn't go wrong even if I keep them, right? So 20 Power of the Force figs from Savers in Worcester, Massachusetts. Also coming in from Savers, we got like this big Titan series, and I know some of you will say, why are you buying that, right? I just thought it was cool. John Cena, $5, right? Last time is now, right? And we can magic erase the marks off of him, I'm sure. So I thought he was worth the $5. And then our last pickup was this bag of figures, $6.50. There's only one figure in here that I was interested in. Like, we got some little knockoff police officer. He's pretty chintzy looking, right? But that, whatever. We got a Superman that has definitely seen better days. Like, look at that cape. Yeah, he's like I'm guessing he's like a DC Superpowers from sometime. I don't quite know when he's from or quite know if we can salvage him, but he wasn't. Those two were the cast-offs. We got this little 3 3/4 Fortnite beef boss burger guy. It looks like he's a little bit beat up as well, but once again, he's not the one I was going after. But I don't know if this is normally supposed to be there or not. I don't think so. We do have the 6-inch version of this guy that we got from Savers, but this is the guy I was after right here. I thought he looked badass. Turns out he's a Marvel legend. I believe his name's Crossbones, but I figured I could use him with my Joes. I mean, he just looks pretty gnarly, so that's why we pick up this package. Can use this guy as well. These two guys may just get tossed. I don't know if this guy can be saved, but that's our Savers pickups from Worcester, Massachusetts. All right, we also stopped by the Time Capsule in Seekonk, Massachusetts, and we got 2004 Jack's Pacific. Everyone has a price. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And these are all $3. I know he's a little bit beat up, but I don't have a loose $1 Million Man, or didn't, because I just have him in the Legends packaging, and so now we got the $1 Million Man. Also from 2004 Jack's Pacific from the Time Capsule in Seekonk, we picked up this sort of dressed up or suited Dave Bautista. I don't know if he had a jacket originally or not. Obviously, his shirt is 2 different colors now these days, but that's okay. Once again, he was $3. I just liked the way that he looked. So we got the $1 Million Man and Bautista. We also picked up this Bret the Hitman Hart that we'll get out of the packaging for $2.99. We picked up this John Morrison for $2.99. And we picked up Kurt Hawkins for $2.99. And we'll get them all out of the package. So Kurt Hawkins is 2005 Jack's Pacific, which I was able to determine while I was at the Time Capsule, which is not my favorite. I like 2003 way better. But I don't have a Kurt Hawkins, and for $3 I couldn't pass him up. The John Morrison that we got is indeed 2003 Jack's Pacific, which I could tell just by looking at him before I even looked at the bottom of his foot. So we were happy to pick him up for $3. And this Bret Hart, I'm pretty sure is from 2006, but I just liked it because he's in obviously different gear than he normally wears. It said it's like the classic Bret Hart. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's 2006 Jack's Pacific, but they were all $3 each, so I thought that was a steal. Also picked up this little Stay Puft Marshmallow Man for $2.99. Pretty sure it says 2013. It's pretty difficult for me to read, but I couldn't pass him up. I mean, I love me some Ghostbusters. And I love me some Stay Puft. So we got him for $2.99. You know what I just discovered when I was taking the price tag off of him? His belly lights up red. I don't know if you can see it. Let me try to turn the light off here. That's pretty cool. And then we picked up this little random, I think he's 3 3/4 figure. I just couldn't pass it up. It says Bass Pro Shops on his hat and on his shirt. I don't know what set he's from. He was $1, but the guy just basically threw him in for free. So we got this little Bass Pro Shops guy as well. Yeah, I just thought he was too random to leave behind. All right, continuing this week's pickups, we picked up Omega from Batman Last Night on Earth by McFarlane Toys, right? And we really did that. I don't really know who the hell Omega is, but I just wanted Bane's legs so we could finish the Bane Build-A-Figure. but we'll get Omega out of the package, and you get the bonus of watching us build a figure Bane. Yeah, this card just further confuses me because I'm not up on the lore. But it says, in a dystopian future after the fall of the heroes, a new evil rose in Gotham City, calling himself Omega. Empowered with the anti-life equation, he reigns supreme over the entire East Coast. Now Omega is rumored to have gained the means to control the mind of every living being on Earth, and it's up to Batman, Wonder Woman, and a band of new heroes to defeat the worst villain ever known and free from the world. But it says real name Bruce Wayne, and last I checked, Bruce Wayne is Batman. So did Bruce Wayne just go rogue, and there's a new, and this guy's a different Batman that we got earlier to build Bane? I don't know. This guy's kind of cool though, because he's got Joker's head in a container. But anyway, one would have to assume that's the case because this guy looks very Batman-y. But anyways, let's get on to build a figure Bane. And I already think I'm probably not going to be a fan because this Bane's leg looks like they don't move, which is going to upset me. Holy shit, I feel like you gotta be a rocket scientist to get his legs on, and I'm not sure I even still have them on all the way. But anyway, so we got his legs for now. I suck at these Build-A-Figures. I assume we have his legs on. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. He's not the easiest Build-A-Figure to put together for sure. Holy shit. I suck at building figures, but damn, I didn't know that this guy was full of quality issues, but I think we finally got him. So sorry about that. I just gave up trying to do it on camera. I can't figure out his fist, but I think I finally got his legs in. Although I'm not positive. I didn't do the heat up method like some people said. And then we're going to try to peg Scarecrow on here if I can figure out how the hell to do that. Shambles. Alright, I gotta say, when you get Scarecrow pegged on, he looks cool as shit. I don't think his legs are still on well. I will try that heat up method. But, I mean, Build-A-Figure Bane appearance-wise is badass. Functionality-wise, he's more of a statue than anything. Legs don't move. I wish I'd have looked him up. You know, I just thought he was cool looking, and I'm new, a novice, so I was like, I'm gonna try to build him. And he was a chore. Continuing this week's toy haul, I've continued to do some returns for return eligible items. Like I said, I'm a rookie. I see shit on sale, I go crazy, I buy it, and then I realize I don't need that. So we decided to really try to start dialing in, which means that retail stores aren't really a big help to me all the time. So I just ordered from Amazon. So continuing this week's toy haul, we picked up Marvel's Crystar, which I've wanted this figure for a while. Also has a Build-A-Figure part for the Void. I'm not going to take him out of the box right now, but this is Duke, G.I. Joe Duke from Super 7. And then also from Super 7, we picked up Reaction Plus Raymar, who I'm not really, don't recall. Wild Bill, who I obviously do. From regular Reaction, we got Sabretooth. From the Tiger Force line. And from Reaction Plus, we got Serpentor. So 4 3 3/4 Joes, 3 Reaction Pluses, 1 Reaction, all by Super 7. And then from Five Below, for $5, we got this retro diner set to use for Joe dioramas. That means we now have the grill set, the cinema set, the retro diner set, and we also picked up this picnic party set. And I thought all of these, with the exception of this Shambles, knocking shit over all over the place, of this picnic table, which is going to be too small. We could use them with classified as well. Alright, YouTube, continuing this week's toy haul. We took a bunch of those clearance figures we found at our local F-White going out of business last week, and we took them to That's Entertainment in Worcester. We had about $55 invested in those clearance figs. And we got $175 in trade credit. So I'd say we did pretty well, just like last week. So 2 weeks in a row, finding clearance figs at FYE and taking them and flipping them. And the first thing we picked up from That's Entertainment today is this Metals Die-Cast John Cena. You Can't See Me by Jada Toys. I don't have any of these metal figs. This is a bigger one. But I figure since he's retiring, it'd be nice, and I've got to look for Invisa Cena whenever he comes out. Maybe he is out, but I haven't seen him yet. Anyways, Metal Fig, John Cena. Not technically toys, but I picked up these graphic novels. As you guys know, a huge G.I. Joe fan. So we got Duke, Volume 1, and we got Destro, Volume 1. So, gonna try these out. And this is my first foray into the Jada Toys sort of food line, but this is Chester Cheetah. I know there's a Tony the Tiger and a Frankenberry and a Count Chocula, and I'm not sure who else. But That's Entertainment only had Chester Cheetah, so we decided to bring him home with us. And our only representation of John Tenta so far in our WWE collection is as Golga. But now here we have him, WWE Elite Collection. I know I said I was only going to get Ultimates, but I don't think he has an Ultimate. I tried to look up all the Ultimates. But any of these guys who also have multiple personas, like John Tenta, Golga, Shark, Earthquake, I feel like it's okay to have a representation of each of them. And That's Entertainment had him as the Shark. For our classified collection, we got another copy to make 2 of the Night Creeper. And it looks like they're both complete. They got all their stuff in baggies. And the Techno Viper. I feel like I don't really army build, but to have a couple of each of these is not bad, because I know Night Creeper has a couple different head sculpts, and Techno Viper, we could use different accessories with him. And rounding out our trade at That's Entertainment Worcester with those FYE clearance figs, we picked up Super 7, the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. And I can't say I'm the biggest fan of these guys, but I don't have any Super 7 wrestlers. I do have Andre the Giant, like en route from Super 7. But I just wanted to check out the Super 7, and since I had, pretend money from doing so well with those clearance figs, we decided to pick up. These are the only Super 7 wrestlers That's Entertainment had, so we decided to pick up the Good Brothers. All right, we also stopped by the Grafton, Massachusetts flea market today. Really, I've been there once, but it was raining, so there's really no vendors there. So I'm going to count this as like my first trip, really. And we found these Flash Gordon figures. We got Cobalt the Mercenary and Ming the Merciless. And these are by Playmates Toys, and they're from 1996. And they were $5 each, which I did not think was a bad price. I love me some Flash Gordon. So we decided to pick up Cobalt and Ming. Also coming in from the Grafton Flea Market, we got this Masters of the WWE Universe, Braun Strowman, right? And I'm a rookie, so I obviously knew that these existed, but I've never actually seen any. This package is beat up, busted up. I don't know if it was a good deal or not. The guy wanted 15 bucks, and I was like, I don't want to give you 15 bucks. I'll give you 10 bucks. And he said, all right, he'll take 10. So I didn't think that was too bad. We're going to take him out of the package anyway. And I know he just got released as well, unfortunately, again. Also from the Grafton Flea Market, these guys are coming in from Hasbro from 1998. This is Major Chip Hazard and Archer from Small Soldiers. And they were also $5 each. They got some wear, right? But they are, 27 years old. And I just thought they were too cool to pass up. So, happy to add them. Just the figures, no accessories, right? I don't even know what they came with. I know Archer obviously came with something. Probably a bow, hence his name. I don't know. Anyways, Chip Hazard and Archer. Alright, also from the Grafton Flea Market, we got this Jada Toys Batmobile, right? Which I thought was pretty cool. We got this Maisto Humvee G.I. Joe logo though, so I had to pick it up. And then we got this Tonka sort of bucket truck, right? You know me, I'm a sucker for little cars, right? So we got all 3 of those for like $4 each. I know the Batmobile is not much more than that new, but I haven't seen it, so we picked them up. All right, coming in from G.I. Joe from 1994. We got this Jeep, which I do not recall, and then we got Deep Six. I mean, he's loosey-goosey, but he's very old. But we got them for $5 each. And we got them from the same vendor for 10 bucks. So I didn't think that was a bad pickup. I mean, the Jeep is obviously missing parts, but what can you expect for $5? This still works though. And then rounding out our pickups from the Grafton Flea Market, we picked up Shaggy. I don't know when he's from. I just thought he looked pretty cool. We got him in a bundle deal with this big 12-inch G.I. Joe. So I'll back up. His box obviously damaged, right? I don't know what he's worth, but I've not seen any of these G.I. Joes where they come with all of their gear. Well, I have, but not for, you know, 13 bucks, which is about what we got him for, because we got Shaggy for a couple of bucks. So I decided to pick up this big 12-inch Joe. Well, I should say he's from 2002. And I stopped by my local FYE that's going out of business one more time, and they sort of took all their action figures off of 90% off clearance and back to 40. I was just finding the secret sauce, I guess, but they did have one that was 90% off, and that's Prince Thune from Power Stars, Flash Gordon. I mean, his card's open. We're going to open him anyway. So figured I had to pick him up. Did get some other stuff at FYE, but it wasn't toy related, so we're not going to show that. All right, so that's our pickups from Sunday, May 4th. May the force be with you. All right, continuing this week's toy haul. Wednesday, May 7th, which was my birthday, so we went gallivanting after work. Stopped at the Toy Vault in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, and picked up this Miss Marvel Gamerverse for $12.99, really just for the Abomination Build-A-Figure parts. Also from the Toy Vault in North Attleboro, we got 2003 Jakks Pacific, super crazy. Stopped at a couple of Targets on my birthday, and we found that we're really into these Jada Toys 1/24 and 1/32 scale. I like the 32nd scales better, but I couldn't pass up the Party Wagon and Donatello. So we picked it up from Target, as well as the 1966 classic TV series Batmobile in 32nd scale. Coming in from the Toy Vault from Marlborough, Massachusetts on May 7th, we got Jean-Claude Van Damme deluxe action figure. We have him in the blue gi, and now we have him in his more, I'm going to call it blood sporty type gear. Or maybe kickboxer, right? Either one, but I thought he looked pretty badass. And also from the Toy Vault in Marlborough, we got Kurgan from the Bone Crunching Action Series from 1998 for $4. And when I arrived home on May 7th, the Ultimate Edition Heart Foundation was waiting on me, that it arrived from Best Buy, because we found it on sale. And then finally, I went back to my local FYE that's going out of business, and we got the 16 DVD entire complete first series G.I. Joe animated series. It was 19 bucks after the clearances and all that, but I didn't think that was a bad price to own all of them in one fell swoop. So I'm stoked about that. Also from the FYE, we picked up Count Chocula. Now, he was more of what you'd call regular retail price, because he was half off, so he was only 22 bucks, which is about what you can buy him for in the store. But just to save me from having to order him online, we just went ahead and picked him up, because they only had one, and I didn't want to risk him being gone. So we got Count Chocula to go with Chester Cheetah. We got a little mini arcade game, Whack-A-Mole, for $1.49, because it was 90% off. And finally, we got a couple of more 90% off clearance figs to trade. We already have Taya Valkyrie, but I couldn't pass her up for $1.99. Yeah, so that was a steal, I thought. And then to finish off this week's toy haul, and this will be another trade fodder. This is McFarlane Collector Edition Green Lantern Alan Scott, who we got for $4, right, from the FYE. So, as always, this has been Trolls Toys. Big week, right? I told you I was dialing in on G.I. Joe and wrestling, and I am, and I decided to go ahead and start making some moves, which I did this week. You saw with some trades at a couple of various stores, with some returns, and then adding what we now know that we want to focus in on. So I truly appreciate you watching my videos, and we'll see you soon.